The ancient Greek theater double feature continues with Euripides' Hecuba. If you've yet to see the Ajax, give that a go first, because we have rules here, chronological order, come on people. We begin once again with context. In this case, Hecuba, the queen of the kicked-over sandcastle that was once called Troy, has a son named Polydorus, who was sent away from the war to live in Thrace with a metric buttload of money. Polydorus got the axe because the Thracian king Polymestor wanted said money, understandably, and his ghost is narrating all of this to the audience. Whoa. Spoopy. In unrelated news, the Greeks and Hecuba are on their way home and have docked at Thrace when suddenly there's no wind and someone's daughter needs to be sacrificed to make the wind blow again so they can all sail home. Wait a minute, this sounds oddly familiar. I'm sure it's nothing. The difference here is that it's Achilles' ghost that's stopping the wind and the daughter in question is Polyxena, Hecuba's daughter and also the third poly name in this play. Jeez. Be inventive. Yes, you heard that right, folks. It's Achilles' ghost that's spitefully stopping the winds. Homeric heroes are such divas, my god. We first meet Hecuba bawling her eyes out on account of everything going to hell for her, Polydorus, and her once beautiful city of Troy because her idiot son Paris just had to get mixed up in an argument between goddesses over who gets the new Apple Watch. She's also rightfully dreading the sacrifice of her daughter Iphigenia, Polyxena. Odysseus shows up to fetch Polyxena for the aforementioned sacrifice. The difference here between this Odysseus and the one you're used to is that this one is a Class A dirtbag according to the playwright Euripides. And in typical dirtbag fashion, Odysseus attempts to comfort Hecuba by helping her come to terms with the sacrifice of her daughter. Polyxena, much like Iphigenia, is resigned to her fate and gets sacrificed. Following a description of her death, Hecuba is understandably grief-stricken and That's what happened to Polyxena. Ha! Following a description of her death, Hecuba is understandably grief-stricken and asks that Polyxena's body be cleaned with water. The servant who fetches said water gets way more than he bargained for when he discovers Polydorus' body washed up on the shore. Yeesh, morbid. Hecuba easily figures out that Polymestor murdered her son for his sweet loot drop, and she plans her revenge on him. In a shocking twist of fate, Agamemnon is actually helpful in the story? Source material much, Euripides? My god, these people are out of character. And helps Hecuba concoct an elaborate ruse in which Polymestor is promised knowledge of buried Trojan treasure, and then led by the nose to Hecuba's tent, much like a mouse to a cheese wedge-shaped brick of gold. Polymestor makes things much better for Hecuba's dastardly revenge plot by bringing his two sons along with him. Polymestor and sons are greeted by a flash mob of Trojan women, except instead of dancing tastefully in a public space, they're killing his sons in proportionate revenge and stabbing his eyes out in disproportionate revenge. That one's not going viral, is it? Yeah. Hecuba proudly jumps out of her tent, spikes the football in the end zone, and gloats over the bellowing, bloodied, and blinded body of Polymestor. So, Hecuba's feeling pretty accomplished for having avenged Polydorus' murder in spectacular fashion. But she's then summoned by Agamemnon to court, in which he shockingly does the right thing for once and judges Polymestor guilty for killing Polydorus for money, and absolves Hecuba of any guilt on the grounds that he had it coming, which is quite surprising given Agamemnon's history of being a total douche. Aside from the innocent people who got murderized, out of Achilles, Odysseus, Hecuba, Polymestor, and the rest of the Greeks, the only main character in this entire story who isn't awful is Agamemnon? What? God damn it, Euripides!